All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry we took a little bit to get this next video out. It has been crazy here, hasn't it, Chad?
Yeah, we've been busy. Lot going on in this video. We've got 2 trucks to work on. We're going from my 2022 all the way back to 1984.
It's almost my whole life.
That truck is actually, it's a year younger than you are. Makes you old.
Shush. Such a brat.
Anyways, trying to do some how-to stuff, kind of get you guys informed a little bit. I don't know if there's videos out there or not, but I guess kind of want to show you how I do it and how I do things my way. Maybe it's not the right way, but
a little bit more arts and crafts, kind of, you're saying?
Yeah, you guys want some more arts and crafts, yeah. So sure. I mean, I enjoy fabricating. I enjoy making things fit. I'm really picky when it comes to that. So I guess just a how-to video would probably give a perspective as to what we do and why we do it.
However, bear with us because there's going to be a lot of bouncing around. We're trying to keep everything afloat. Yeah. So in between glue drying or something on one truck, we go to the other truck. So bear with us the best you can.
Extra popcorn on this one. You're going to need maybe a couple more brewskis.
Sure, there you go. And we're going to start a little bit on the bolts for the frame, the hidden bolts. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, the countersunk bolts. We've got to do that on ours. Deck plates first, but try and
we're going to start
carry
a little
into
bit
the next little deal. We're doing it step by step.
Perfect.
We're going to try.
Well, we're going to get going and you guys enjoy this and hopefully it turns out.
That's right.
All right.
All right. I just kind of want to show you a little bit here. We're going to do some deck plates and I wanted to show you how I kind of do it. Now that we got the fifth wheel set where we want, I do have a piece cut to length, but before I put the piece in, I'm going to show you how to do this, or at least how I do it. So I cut these L brackets, or had them bent up. They're 5" by 5" by 1/4 inch. Basically, they make them out of plate, aluminum plate. Bend them up so they basically be like 5 by 5 angle aluminum, but this is a little bit cheaper route. So what I do is I take the cross members. If I've got everything clean here, nothing in the way, that's what I like. You can actually use pre-existing holes in this cross member. Now, that makes it easy because all you gotta do is drill holes in this and kind of set it up, but I'll show you. All I do, run a level across this frame. This is just an 1/8 inch thick piece of aluminium. All I do is use that as a template or a shim. And I want to have about a 1/16 of an inch to maybe an 1/8 inch gap in between here to fit loose, if you get what I mean. This simulates the deck plate. This piece does. This simulates the top of it, but I want it even with the top of the frame, so this is my bottom baseline, I guess. So we put that in there. I know all these I just clamp them, drill them, done deal. So all of them are done, and we've got that step taken care of. But you want to make sure that this deck plate's mounted solid. This truck goes down the road at 70 miles an hour for 100 to 150,000 miles a year. Like all this custom stuff fits and works. But the trick is to get it to stay on the truck, to stay working, not to fly off into somebody's windshield, because that's bad too. So I glue everything together. I'll grind all this down. I'll grind the deck plate down. And I'll use a panel bond. It's a 3M product. But this is a piece I cut off. All this is deck plate. It's 1/8 inch material. I leave an inch leg here and an inch leg here. And then I measure and I give myself between here and this plate at least an 1/8 inch of room. So basically it sits in here like this, and it gets glued in. Granted, it's going to be longer, obviously, but here's what I mean by this piece. This piece is basically simulates this. So technically, we've got a little bit of room here for glue, because glue is going to be not thick, but thick enough. But you want to be able to be flush with this. You know, that's what I do. You know, square everything up. I'll do a time lapse, kind of show you what I do here. So this simulates deck plate, 126 inches long. Obviously, it's just easier to use this short piece for demonstration. So we're going to go ahead and get everything fit, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so for this portion of arts and crafts, everything is perfectly straight. Look at that, right down the line. That's what you want. You want to be able to go to a show and have somebody look at it and say, wow. Now look at those body lines. It's the same with one of those. You know, you want the doors, all that to be good all the way around. That's key. Same with here. Now I said leave an 1/8 inch gap. It's hard to see, but that's what you want, because you don't want the frame rubbing. You don't want this rubbing on that. Now, I'll tell you guys, these frames, they'll go like this. They'll be crooked. Now, when I mean crooked, I don't mean an inch off. I mean an 1/8 inch off. When you've got gaps this tight, an 1/8 inch is a big thing. So you want to make sure your frame's straight first. Now this is obviously a brand new truck, so we should have a straight frame. But I've got one coming in today. I'm going to do a little video on it for you guys for a very, very special person. And he's got that going on. They put a cutoff on the back. Did a great job. But to put deck plates in, that's something I got to double check. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the deck plates for him. Help from a couple of good friends. And we're going to get it done. So I guess make sure everything's straight. It'll turn out that much better when everything's done. You know, everything's nice and flush, nice and even. I took a lot of time and set everything up. A lot of time. Now all I got to do is glue it. We'll go ahead and get underneath and mark everything as to where we got to grind out. Lift it back out with a friend, of course, and get her glued up. Kind of. Okay. So we've got everything glued. This is where we got ground down.
What do you use to glue it?
This is 3M product. 08115.
Panel bond.
Comes in a little shooter. So anyways, grind 2 sides of this down where we have the glue, if you could see the glue, obviously. Clamp it in and just leave it sit overnight. We did this late last night. And then we've also got these ground. I got it marked where we need it. So.
And what are them spots for, Chad?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Follow me. Those will be here.
Oh, gotcha.
So we grind that off. Reason why we grind is to get it to stick. It needs something to bite into. So next we'll glue this. Everything will be set in, and we'll just have to wait for the glue to dry. So when we get done with that, we'll let you guys know. But for now, we've got another truck with deck plates.
What do you got going on? Why is there another truck?
There's a fancy cab over.
Oh.
Supposedly going to Louisville. Needs paint, but needs deck plates first.
Well, we should check that out, huh?
Yep.
Get your shine on.
Get your shine on.
More deck plates to come?
Yep. And here, if you See here, I can show you. We talked yesterday about all these gaps. See how this is a little bit wider? We've actually got to bring this frame rail in. So we've got some work to do first before we can get these attached. So let's get to it.
We, as in your mice in your pocket?
Yeah, I got a few friends, Kenny and Mike. So
they're getting roped in.
They also get their stuff polished by Evan. So we thought we'd do them all the favor and get this over with.
There we go. Well, we better get to work.
I'm going to show you. So this frame right about here went like this. For about, if we measured it, it was about a 4-foot section here. So what I did is I actually filled this in with weld all the way. And we actually filled it in about 3/16, just a little over, you know, because you're going to grind it all off. But filled it in, and now we ground it off smooth. Looks like a straight frame rail to me. So we got everything double checked, straight as can be. So now when we put, don't scratch, when we put deck plates in, we started back here, and we actually, there were some plates back here we took out, kind of drew this whole frame together. And it's hard to see on this video, but it kind of, I don't know, it was wider in the front and narrower in the back. Now we're within an 1/8 inch all the way back, which I will show you. Back here, we've got to actually, we're going to leave this side tight. We're going to loosen this and this up, and this and this. We're going to porter power this all this way. It just an 1/8 inch. That's all we need. And that frame rail is as straight as can be all the way down the truck. So now, then at that point, we could put them in, and they're going to look like they belong there, because that's how we do things. So stay tuned, and we'll continue on this tomorrow. It's late Sunday night, so I guess we'll keep you posted. All right. So it's the next morning. We worked Sunday night, and we had a little bit for issues with this frame on Evan's cab over. This frame right here kind of went out like this. I'm exaggerating, but I'm showing it. But the whole thing did this. This side, the whole frame went the opposite way. It did this. So what happened, I think the frame got bent. Somebody did do a repair. I can see where it's been welded. That wasn't me, but they got it pretty straight. But you can see where the air pockets are, where it's been welded. But what I had to do from about here to here was basically weld all this, put about 3/16 of an inch of weld on the end of this frame, and then ground it off straight. Reason being, because now we got the deck plate kind of mocked up, you need to make sure these gaps are straight. Now, I ground quite a bit of that off, you know, but now we've got somewhere to work with. Everything's straight. They can body work the rest. We actually just ground a little bit off of this side, and we should be good. So now if we get back here to the back of the frame, we've got to take just this side, and we've got to loosen these up, porter power this side out, basically jack this side out, an 1/8 inch. That's it, just an 1/8 inch. and tighten these up. And we should have 27, if we measure, we should have 27 or 26 and 3/4 all the way up. So we've got a nice straight line all the way up to go by. So once we get that done, these will look like they belong there. So that's kind of where we're at on this. We'll get everything glued up and hopefully set in tomorrow sometime. So we got a big snowstorm coming, so we're not in a rush because we don't want to take this out, load it on the trailer, and 1.5 feet of snow or whatever we're supposed to get. So we're just going to take our time, do it right. That way, it's for Evan. He's kind of an important person to me, so we want to make sure that everything is kosher before it goes to paint. So we'll keep you tuned.
Awesome. We're gonna remember we gotta do an oil change on it too.
Oh yeah, he said. Yeah. How long has he owned this? You think?
I have no idea.
It's been 6 or 7 years. I don't. He told me he's never changed the oil ever. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of our oil in it, just as a, I don't know, do the right thing type thing.
And that's all we have here.
Yeah. Well, we only run Primrose products, but. He's already burning it in the fuel. You and me actually got to take it for a test drive one day, about 40 miles, and just run some fuel through it, some treatment. Got it running good, but now it's time to change oil on it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Maybe we'll have Kenny do that today.
There you go. Little TLC.
Yeah, I could work on this, and he can get the oil changed, and it'll run that much better when it's done. Well, somebody's here. Speaking of Kenny.
Looks like Kenny's here for work for the day.
Finally woke up. He's driving one of our Aero trucks because his is a little sick right now and he thinks he could sleep in. I don't know. Drives an Aero and gets lazy.
Oh, good morning, Kenny.
Good morning. Am I docked on pay already?
Yep, you are.
You're late. You're fired.
But that's all right. You still have to change oil. We were just discussing that.
Oh. Okay.
You got a couple. You got to drain the oil on that thing today too.
And I got to run injectors, clean bills this morning.
Yeah.
Well, you slept in. You better get moving. All right. Well, we're gonna get to work.
Okay. Yep. So we've got the deck plate mocked up. I've actually got everything set as far as that deck plate, but I've got this one right here I've got to make. Just working on some of the final bracketry, and we'll get this thing set right in. It'll look like it belongs, but we got the frame and the deck plates as straight as we can for what we got here. About 3 days into it now, so we're trying to do the best we can. Make some adjustments. We did go ahead and we're going to make him a new drive shaft. Basically, if you see that slip joint right there, there was one there and there was one on the front drive shaft with the carrier bearing in the middle. So basically the drive shaft does this and just beats the living crap out of the carrier bearing. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. So we're taking that drive shaft to a shop. Kenny's actually on his way now. We'll get a new one built for him. We went ahead and did an oil change. Put a new filter on it, some new oil. Gotta love those Primrose products. Nothing but the best for Evan. So we use our 1540 and should make this girl run a little bit better. I know he doesn't use it a lot when they sit like this. That's bad. So the better the oil, the better the situation. So we just trying to perfect it for him. We moved some airlines underneath here and redid a few things back here. So I just put some 90s on. There was straights coming out. We just did some 90s. Just nothing wrong with what's on there. We're just doing it our way. I gotta fix That hose right there, there's a little hole in it. Somebody was grinding this off. His name was Chad. You know, caught that, and we got to fix it now. So, anyways, we're getting it done. We've got a lot going on between that, and I've got these glued right here. We're gonna take all that apart and do the same to that this evening. Here's a rear deck plate piece. So we've got that done. That's all bent up. We did that. And my truck's sitting back here still ready. So I guess we got her loaded up, and we failed to mention or failed to video a few things. So smells a little deep. Got everything loaded up. It's I'll walk around and we'll get the front view of it. We got a fake windshield in it, just so it keeps everything out of the cab. But that's how it's gonna sit. Wait till you see this thing done. It's gonna be a head turner. Kenny's gonna take one of our trucks out there to deliver it. That's his step deck, but kind of a community deal here. Anything for Evan. Get it out there safely. He can get it painted and get it down to Louisville. What do you think? I'm gonna crawl up on there and show you what we did. All right. So we got full length deck plates. Did that. What else did we do? Well, let me crawl back down. Man, this thing looks good. So we took that drive shaft out. So it had a slip joint in it. You got a carrier bearing right there, slip joint. You had a drive shaft with another slip joint. You don't want that, folks. You want a solid drive shaft, slip joint back here, and then every time your suspension goes up and down, this moves. So with two slip joints, everything moves. This carrier bearing sits and does this the whole time, just wears it right out. So we weren't gonna let that happen. We built them a new drive shaft, got everything put back in. This could come down a little bit, but not a lot, but we ain't got much for clearance. So I got the deck plates in. We changed oil on it. What else did we do? We tried rebuilding on the jack for the cab, the hydraulic jack. Hopefully it's not windy, but that thing right there is a pain in our butt. I think there's something wrong in this dealie here. Something's not working. So we'll just leave that for a future date. It's got to get the paint so it can make it down to Louisville. So we got everything else pretty much figured out. Gone through, we tied a bunch of wires up under there. We changed a few things and put some new fittings in. Oh, here's Kenny. Kenny's got some straps.
Hey, Chad.
We're gonna tie it down or what?
Yes, we're gonna tie it down.
All right.
So it doesn't fall off on the way out there.
Okay, well, here we go. All right, well, she's tied down. Headed to PA. They're gonna throw a paint job on it. It's gonna be nice. All right, well, let's go back inside where it's warm. It's cold out here. All right, so I know I rushed through this, but I'm trying to show as much as I can with what I got for time to work, but I did get this one glued down. As you can remember, we had them rectangle pieces all bolted in. Then we're all ground off. All we did was add glue, our 3M panel bond to the top of that. And I basically moved the fifth wheel plate out of the way, So me and Lisa just kind of plopped it down and it fit like it should, you know. So then I take a level, run it across the frame. Basically what I don't want to see any light anywhere here. That tells me that it's flush with the top of the frame. The reason you see this here, because it wasn't flush. These are just aluminum billet plates, they're seat bases, but they got a little weight. If you find something around the shop, put some weight on it, but you want even weight. You don't want weight in this much area because you're going to have a divot. You want a lot of weight spread out, so to speak. So that was a little high, but now it's settled down. Everything's flush. Everything's good here. We did get our shock box cover locked up. I cut holes out of it. First time trying a Iowa Custom shock box cover. Finally came in. And I did pre-drill the holes for the lights in it. So that's done, that's mocked up. One more step.
What are you doing, Chad?
Glue it.
I haven't checked on you in a while. I thought I'd come see how it's going.
Yeah. Just making a mess.
Are you?
Yeah.
More deck plate stuff?
Finally. We're going to be done.
All right.
You walked up just the right time.
Why? Because you're going to make me help?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
okay.
It's going to take a little bit, but you can see how I put this together, at least.
Let me come over there and get closer. I want to see it.
Just laying the glue out. You want to make sure you get
That's the panel bond.
a good amount. The more you have on it, the better, but you don't want too much on where it just oozes out the sides and you waste it. Who's bell?
Sound like pizza oven's
Pizza?
going off, and I don't think
Somebody
we have
making
one.
pizza? I could use a pizza right now. So you just zigzag, whatever. We have the piece, you see it upside down over there, that's what's going in here.
You have it all bent up.
All bent up, glued, the sides, the supports are in it.
So he puts these, I'll show you while he's doing that. He puts these 1-inch supports on there. And the tricky part is he has to do a lot of cutting to get it to the angle here and grinding. Then he panel bonds them on. And here's the back support piece that he has, because as you can see these little holes here, they're going to bolt right up to that piece kind of behind him that has bolt holes also. So you have your supports there. This is all ground down, ready for the glue to get put on there so it adheres. And then he bent this to fit.
By hand. I don't have a machine. So you got to get creative. See where the cut line is? You just cut it a little bit and it'll bend on that line. You don't want to cut too far though, because you'll go right through it, obviously. That's bad.
That's why I don't help with that part.
Oh boy.
Because I would do it. And then here's his, that's what, 1 by 1? Inch by inch this piece? Yeah.
Just glue it in. And then you got to take the corners, wherever it oozes out, you sand it down. And make it flush so it fits nice. Basically, you utilize any cross member you can underneath to support it.
See, because once he gets it glued and attached on, then this piece is essentially part of, this one here is a part of the deck plate.
Right.
And then when you want to take it off, you just take it off with these bolts here.
Mm-hmm.
And it pops off.
Put more glue on it than we probably should, but this one's got to hold pretty tight back here.
Well, it's got to hold up to the driver too, you know.
What are you saying?
Just saying.
Just saying.
It just kind of slipped out. So then these two deck plates will meet there, kind of under the fifth wheel hidden. That's all one big piece, and then this will be the back piece.
We're almost out of this, so I'm just kind of using it up. It's not going to hurt anything to have too much, is it?
No. Too much. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well.
So that's kind of, in a nutshell, the deck plate, right?
In a nutshell?
Yeah.
Sure. I had some peanuts this morning.
It's a good
In the
breakfast.
shell. Dogs were looking at me, drooling. Well, come on. It's just about done.
See, once we set it on there then and we get it kind of how we want, we just do, as I always say, little wiggles to help that adhere.
Yep. Move it around a little bit so it
Get it all.
sticks. Gets a nice even coating on everything. There is the end.
Cool.
So.
Well, do you want me to set this down? I can help you set it on a minute.
No, I can get it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do have to take this back out though. I've got to test my lights. And got the headlights finally in and done, but you got to plug the taillights in. Otherwise, it'll show a code on the dash, and I want to make sure there is no code on the dash. So,
Gotcha.
we got to do that. All right.
You don't want help?
No, I got this.
Okay.
There. Just like so.
Wiggle.
So I'm going to put this back over it to hold the front down. We kind of slid that ahead just so it's out of the way. So we're just going to leave that there. I got to climb underneath, put these bolts in, give them a little tug, find my creeper.
And this will drop down more once we get it completely bolted down.
Yep.
Right now it's kind of lifted up, but
that's what I'm doing right now.
It's all part of the process.
Let's see here.
What color are you painting the deck plate?
Purple?
Okay, good.
Is that bad?
No, that's good. I was just kind of thinking the aluminum appearance wasn't quite it. So what we have to do too while he's tightening that, all of these marks on the deck plate, and you can kind of see some scratches from when you get it. We have to go through, sand that all down, get it nice and smooth, and then we'll paint it. Typically he'll paint the underneath kind of with a rhino line support and holding it tighter. And then what we do after that is we flip it over and then we'll paint the actual whole deck plate. And that'll get painted same time we do the frame rails. Clear coat it, do everything to it. But that way if you have to stand on here, which obviously we don't like to do that, but with the supports he has where he glues that down, that does help with more support going through.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere.
Well, but if you're standing on it, it doesn't dent it.
Jeepers. Dropping nuts and bolts.
You want me to crawl under there and do that, or what?
No.
All right.
Got it.
Well, we'll get this fastened down, and that should be it. That's how it looks. You can see already how he has it. It's nice and flush here.
Not yet, it ain't.
Well, it's looking pretty good. We just have to do some squaring up. It's a little bit tighter on one side than the other, but that's all part of the repositioning and what he's doing now.
Well, hold on.
Oh. Well, then. We're
just
holding.
Hold on.
Holding.
All right.
We might as well go get some popcorn while we wait, huh?
Mazel.
Mazel.
The glue's setting up nicely. Do we need to pull the ends together or no?
See under there what you're doing? Are you doing anything?
Yeah, there's a light, but conveniently it's not on.
It's a nice light.
I left it up here, and we lost some hardware. Oh, here's a washer. Well.
All right, so he's got it tightened underneath. So now he's going to show us what he does up here.
I showed him a washer drill bit trick just to keep everything squared up. Yeah. So everything's kind of nice. There it is. It's over here. So the crack's a little less here. We kind of got to go this way just a smidge. So just going to give it a little. That's about it right there. So actually we're glued down nice and tight. That's flush right here. We're good, I think.
Good deal.
Now it's complete all the way to the front. We should be set. About 24 hours for that glue to set up. Once that's set, I can take it back off. Actually, it sets up in about 6 hours, but it fully dries in about 24. It should be good.
Good deal. I think we might as well go have lunch. Got to wait for the glue to dry.
Lunch? All right.
All right.
Next week, we're going to get it sideways in our paint area.
I feel like we've been saying that a lot and we haven't got that. We need to get that done.
Well, Evan's put us back about a week, but that's for Evan, that's good. So we can concentrate on this thing because this has got to get somewhere close to thinking about painting it by next weekend. So we'll get that turned around. Hopefully the next video you see some forward progress there. We got to do the countersink bolt holes in the frame. I got to fit the rear light panel, make the rear deck plate, and then we can paint. It's going to be ready to go at that point. Put some color on it, and then it'll be going back together. We got some interior pieces today. Thank you, Brian, at Semi Casual. We appreciate it.
I haven't been able to see them yet. You need to show them to me.
You want to see them?
Well, I think we should. Well, I guess if you want to now.
Well, they're not in, but basically, we did get an overhead piece. This goes up here over your head, but
cool.
Brian, my buddy Brian has a guy down by him in Tennessee that does this stuff. So
really cool.
We will have something a little decorative in there. It won't be so plain Jane. So we got those. They're just in there for safekeeping. But I want to thank. Who do we thank? We thank Kenny. Kenny gave us a lot of help this week. You were here. We had Mike Grimm was here. We had Kevin here.
We had Wayne here.
Wayne, our neighbor Wayne, he's just, I don't know, he's going to drive us to drink one of these days. He's laid off for the winter, so he likes to go out and party. Meanwhile, we have to work. But anyways.
This has been a hectic week, but yeah,
yes,
we got through it.
Yeah.
So
it's finally Friday and we're going to crash.
Yes,
we got to leave tomorrow to go out of town.
Yes, we're getting away.
Yes, just a small getaway. Other than that, that's about it.
Good deal.
We got to do the like, subscribe thing. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed. We really appreciate it. So I guess at that point we got www.barrytrucking.com. We got Barry Trucking on Facebook. Everything you see there. We have the website on Facebook, obviously, if you forget what it is. Instagram.
Check us out on Instagram and keep subscribing and sharing the videos. We really appreciate all the support you guys have given us so far, and we're trying our best, so we'll keep at it. We're
still new at it.
It's a learning curve trying to video and get work done, but it's coming together and we're getting better at it.
Yes. So hopefully we can get this video out soon. I know you guys are waiting. We're trying to do one a week, but we're doing our best at that too. So
It's been a heck of a week trying to get that truck pounded out, but at least it's on the road, and Kenny hopefully makes it there safely.
Kenny,
So.
drive safe. Even though you'll be there.
He'll be there by
the
then,
time
yeah.
you see the video, but we appreciate everything. And now we can get back to normal.
Let's go relax.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good day.